Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. In this lecture video, I shall try to discuss about another name reaction, that is Reformatsky reaction. Hope this video will be helpful for you to understand this reaction. Like other name reaction, in this video I shall try to discuss about the theory, mechanism, application and limitations of this reaction. Reformatsky reaction was developed by a Russian chemist Sergei Nikolaevich Reformatsky. The Reformatsky reaction is an organic reaction which condenses aldehydes or ketones with alpha halo ester using metallic zinc to form beta hydroxy esters. The organozinc reagent, also called a Reformatsky enolate, is prepared by treating an alpha halo ester with zinc dust. Reformatsky enolates are less reactive than lithium enolates or Grignard reagents, and hence nucleophilic addition to the ester group does not occur. According to Reformatsky reaction, when a alpha bromo ester will react with aldehyde or ketone in the presence of zinc dust in dry ether, after that a beta hydroxy ester will be produced. We can see an example of Reformatsky reaction. Here ethyl bromo acetate reacts with acetone in the presence of zinc dust in dry ether. In that case, an intermediate compound will be produced, which upon acidic hydrolysis, a beta hydroxy ester will be produced. Now I shall discuss about the mechanism of this reaction. When an alpha bromo ester is refluxed with zinc dust in dry ether, an organo zinc enolate will be produced like Grignard reagent, and the bond between carbon and zinc in organo zinc enolates is covalent but highly polar in nature. Due to its high polar nature, it will dissociate to an anion like this and a cation like this. After that, this anion will attack the carbonyl carbon of aldehyde or ketone. We know that in carbonyl group, oxygen, due to its high electronegativity, withdraw the pi electron between carbon and oxygen, and after that oxygen become negative and this carbonyl carbon become positive. That's why the anion produced from organo-zinc enolate will attack the positive carbonyl carbon and form a complex like this. And after that, the negative oxygen will share its excess electron to zinc bromo cation, and after that they will produce a complex compound like this, which upon acidic hydrolysis this portion will be removed and will get a beta hydroxy ester, and this is the mechanism of this reaction. Now I shall mention about the applications of Reformatsky reaction. Using Reformatsky reaction, we can synthesize beta hydroxy ester. This is the first application. And also we can synthesize beta hydroxy acid and its derivatives. After Reformatsky reaction, if we do one extra step, that is, if we hydrolyze the beta hydroxy ester, it will be converted to a beta hydroxy acid. We can also prepare alpha beta unsaturated acid using the Reformatsky reaction mechanism. I already mentioned that after Reformatsky reaction we will get beta hydroxy ester, and this beta hydroxy ester upon hydrolysis will get a beta hydroxy acid. After that, if we do another extra one-step reaction, that is, if the beta hydroxy acid react with concentrated sulfuric acid, in that case this beta hydroxy acid will be converted to a alpha beta unsaturated acid. Here I showed an example for the synthesis of cinnamic acid, which is an alpha beta unsaturated acid. For this cinnamic acid synthesis, we can use Riffordsmitsky reaction, and the synthetic pathway is like this. First, ethyl bromoacetate will be refluxed with benzaldehyde in the presence of zinc dust in dry ether, and after that this complex compound will be produced according to Riffordsmitsky reaction, which upon hydrolysis will be converted to its corresponding beta hydroxy ester, and after that if we do hydrolysis it will be converted to beta hydroxy acid, and after that if we react this beta hydroxy acid with concentrated sulfuric acid, in that case we will get cinnamic acid, that is an alpha beta unsaturated carboxylic acid. We can also synthesize saturated carboxylic acid using Riffordsmitsky reaction. In the previous slide, I already showed that how we can get an alpha beta unsaturated acid using Riffordsmitsky reaction mechanism. After getting an alpha beta unsaturated acid, if we do hydrogenation, in that case this alpha beta unsaturated acid will be converted to saturated carboxylic acid. We can also synthesize alpha beta unsaturated ester using Riffordsmitsky reaction mechanism. When we do Riffordsmitsky reaction, in that case the final product is beta hydroxy ester. If we do dehydration of this beta hydroxy ester, in that case we will get an alpha beta unsaturated ester, and from this alpha beta unsaturated ester we can get saturated ester if we do hydrogenation of this alpha beta unsaturated ester. These are the applications of Riffordsmitsky reaction. You can also include other applications if you need. Now about the limitations of Riffordsmitsky reaction. The first limitation of this reaction is we cannot use water in this reaction. If we use water in this reaction, in the final step a compound zinc hydroxy bromide will be produced, which is a gelatinous substance, and it is very difficult to separate this substance from the reaction mixture. Second limitation is that this reaction is specific for bromine only. Third limitation is that bromine must be at the alpha position. It is specific, that's why it is a limitation. Fourth limitation is that no group can be introduced to beta position, that is in beta hydroxy ester. The last limitation of this reaction is that we use zinc dust in this reaction, that zinc may destroy the alpha bromo ester. Usually zinc react with the alpha bromo ester to produce a organo zinc enolate, but sometimes after reacting with alpha bromo ester, zinc may produce a dimer of this compound, which is not our target compound. These are the limitations of Riffordsmitsky reaction. Now I shall discuss about the planning of synthesis of a particular type of compound using Riffordsmitsky reaction. What will be the starting material for this particular type of compound? For example, we have to synthesize this carboxylic acid using Riffordsmitsky reaction mechanism. In application section, we already saw that after Riffordsmitsky reaction, we'll get a beta hydroxy ester, and from that beta hydroxy ester we can get a beta hydroxy carboxylic acid after extra one step reaction, and from that beta hydroxy ester we can get alpha beta unsaturated carboxylic acid. And if we do hydrogenation of that alpha beta unsaturated acid, a saturated carboxyl will be produced. So if we want to synthesize this saturated carboxylic acid using Reformatsky reaction mechanism, we know that in Reformatsky reaction this portion comes from the carbonyl compound, that is from either aldehyde or ketone, and this portion comes from the alpha bromo ester. So from that knowledge we can guess about the starting material for the synthesis of this saturated carboxylic acid. So for this carboxylic acid, the ketone, that is the carbonyl compound, should be like this, and the alpha bromo ester should be like this. So using this starting material we can synthesize this saturated carboxylic acid using Reformatsky reaction mechanism. Now I shall show how we'll plan for the synthesis of N-valeric acid using Reformatsky reaction. We can see the structure of this N-valeric acid. From this we can get idea about the starting material for this synthesis. We know according to Reformatsky reaction this portion comes from the aldehyde or ketone and this portion comes from the alpha bromo ester. So for the synthesis of this reaction using Reformatsky reaction, we have to start with propanol and ethyl bromo acetate as the starting material. And if we react these two compound in the presence of zinc dust in dry ether, and after that this compound will be produced according to Reformatsky reaction, which upon acidic hydrolysis beta hydroxy ester will be produced. And after that if we do dehydration, in that case alpha beta unsaturated ester will be produced, which upon hydrogenation saturated ester will be produced. And after that if we do hydrolysis of this saturated ester, in that case we will get a alpha beta saturated carboxylic acid, that is the N-valeric acid. This way we can plan a synthesis of a particular type of compound. Now I shall discuss how will we plan for the synthesis of citric acid using Reformatsky reaction. The structure of citric acid is shown here. From this structure we can plan for the starting material using Reformatsky reaction. According to Reformatsky reaction, we know that this portion comes from carbonyl compound and this remaining portion comes from alpha bromo ester. So for that particular type of compound, the starting material will be like this. That is, one is diethyl 2-oxosuccinate and another is ethyl bromo acetate. If we react with this two starting material in the presence of zinc dust in dry ether, in that case a complex compound will be produced, which we showed in Reformatsky reaction mechanism like this, and after acidic hydrolysis this product will be like this, that is a beta hydroxy ester. And after that if we do hydrolysis of this beta hydroxy ester, that particular beta hydroxy carboxylic acid will be produced, and which is citric acid. This way we can plan different for the synthesis of different type of compound using Reformatsky reaction. That's all about Reformatsky reaction. Hope this lecture video will be helpful for you to understand this reaction. If you like my lecture video, then don't forget to click the like button. You can also share this video to your friends and can also put your comments. Lastly, don't forget to subscribe my channel. Your subscription will encourage me to make more lecture video for you all. Thank you.